Hello, hello, hello. I'm just sitting here using my hexagon dishcloth as a dishcloth. Oh, it must have shrunk. Look at that. They didn't even talk about that happening. No. I used crochet thread. I didn't use a classic 10. I ended up using, let me turn some light on. That didn't help. I ended up using a 8 weight, which when you go to look at embroidery thread, sometimes they have like those little hanks. And then sometimes they'll have, you know, like the bigger balls of yarn. Crochet thread. The big balls of crochet thread are usually a classic 10. Sometimes you can find a fashion 3. I ended up using what they call was it an 8? I'll have to confirm that. I can't remember if it was an 8 or a 5. Oh, well, it's smaller than the 10, so it's a 5. I used a 5 weight crochet thread. And I followed the pattern. It's a very enjoyable pattern to work on. I ended up making more notes in my book, and it worked up slightly larger than the actual image in the book. I was thinking if I got it wet, I used some cold water and just gave it a really good squeeze and a really good rinse in some cold water. And then I'm stretching it out as I pin it. You get it pinned, and then I like to walk it out a little bit. Just readjusting, pulling everything out. Usually these blocking mats have measurements on them and grids to really help make it even. But I used the economy package from Harbor Freight, and these, I think they're meant for like home gym floors, or mechanics use them when they're crawling around on their hands and knees looking under cars. Got a lot of them. I think the pack came with like 10. Great blocking mats, and you know, there's kind of a grid on it. All right, let me show you. I used a 1mm number 6 crochet hook. It is my Daiso. Got a hexagon. Look how close. Those are pretty dang close in size. I started working it up in crochet cotton, kitchen cotton. And it's so pretty once you get into that detail work. Look at the little mini pineapple that was starting to form. I couldn't do it. It was so pretty. So I worked it up in, well, crochet thread, and I used a 5. Definitely a 5. It was 11 rows around. We did some double crochet. We got into the intricate work. I started to struggle around row 8. And row 8 is where we're doing these chains and these single crochets. I started keeping note and underlining every time it said a single crochet, because it went in to say with parentheses, it said would do it twice. And then the repeat through here. Got a little confusing to me. So 8 and 9 were the hardest rounds for me, and that's just because it was forming this little bit in here where they were doing these single crochets to naturally bring it down. That was about it. I definitely, my notes said how many single crochets would be in the middle and how many chain spaces, so that really helped me keep track. My book is still falling apart. I got rubber bands over here, I got paper clips over here. I haven't glued that yet. Another week, huh? Thank you, ducks, for a grand adventure. I'll see you soon. Bye.